This is the original podcast edition of The Guild of the Cowry Catchers by Abigail Hilton, now part of the complete Pirates of Wefrevane series. The books are available as audiobooks, ebooks, and paperbacks. This podcast originally aired from 2010 to 2014. Stick around after the story for commentary from me, the author, more than a decade later. The Guild of the Cowry Catchers, a novel of pirates and Panamindorah. Written and narrated by Abigail Hilton. Book 3, Ashes. Warning: this novel was intended for people who shop in the grown-up section of the bookstore. It is not intended for children or young teens. If you need to ask whether you will be offended, you probably will. Episode 8.
Hi, this is Odin One-Eye from The View from Valhalla, where you can always find reviews of your favorite works of podcast fiction. And I'm here today to do the story so far. Wait, did you say, the story so far? Come on, you know how I feel about the story so far. Come on, really? Feel free to skip ahead. Probably about, a minute should do it. Previously on the Cowry Catchers podcast, Silvio is ecstatic. The verbal agility that defined him and seemed lost forever is his again, at least when talking to Gerard. He tells Gerard the details of what happened immediately before and after Gerard's life as a slave. In addition, Descartes tells them that Marcella is her mother. Gerard finds this explanation inadequate to explain some of her behavior and abilities, but doesn't pry. Winter deepens and their food runs out. Descartes goes looking for food and doesn't return for several days. Gerard and Silvio are worried. They decide to travel to a pool in the woods where they will break the ice and attempt to fish while looking for signs of Descartes. While they are fishing, Silvio's usual level of mild flirtation gets more aggressive. Gerard becomes annoyed. They're in the middle of an argument when Felbane appears on the edge of the ice. Where's my agent? Contract! Oh, you owe me.
Chapter 22. Several Predators. Gerard noticed immediately that Felbane's hips looked angular and bony. His eyes looked a little dull, and when he took a step, he seemed unsteady. Overall, he looked considerably less healthy than he'd looked in the pit. He hesitated, his posture uncertain. Gerard turned deliberately back to his fishing. On his shoulders, Silvio began to tremble.
Gerard, he's coming closer.
It's all right, just ignore him.
After a moment, Gerard spotted Felbane out of his peripheral vision. The huge griffin came cautiously up on his left. Gerard was positive now that Felbane would not attack them. He'd had plenty of opportunities when he was more fit and in a position to be more aggressive. Gerard doubted that Felbane really knew how to be a wild griffin, but he'd been hoping that Felbane's instincts would kick in. However, from what he could see, Felbane's instincts were not teaching him how to handle the winter weather. Gerard did not look directly at him. This was as close as Felbane had ever willingly approached, and Gerard did not want to startle him. Silvio was twisting Gerard's hair painfully in his hands, but there was nothing erotic about it. Gerard could practically taste his fear.
Silvio, calm down.
He didn't respond. Gerard reached up and took one of Silvio's paws in his right hand. He pushed a thumb through the mat of cold fur and pressed it against the warm pad.
Silvio, he won't attack us, not if we don't panic and do something stupid. He is hungry, and we should not act like prey.
Silvio's voice was panicky.
I didn't mean to make you angry.
You didn't make me angry. You made me uncomfortable. That's not the same thing.
I won't do it again. I won't.
I doubt that's a promise you're capable of keeping.
Gerard, you wouldn't feed your foxling to the griffin, would you?
Gerard squeezed his paw.
Never, Silvio. Calm down. Take deep breaths and let me deal with this.
Felbane had lain down on the ice with his head up. Gerard waited a bit longer, in part for Silvio to calm down. Finally, he said,
Felbane?
He still didn't look directly at the griffin. Felbane whined.
Cold.
He said, after a moment.
Hungry.
Silvio trembled. Gerard let go of his paw and reached up for his hand.
So are we.
He said to Felbane.
That's why we're catching fish. Have you seen the Grishnard girl with black hair who was with us earlier?
He probably ate her.
Felbane considered.
No girl.
He said at last.
Hurt.
Under your leg?
Felbane didn't answer. He lay down with his chin on the ice. It was the closest to a submissive posture that Gerard had ever seen from him. Gerard wondered again where he'd come from.
Felbane, how did you get into that pit? Did the Hunti raise you?
Not possible,
said Silvio immediately.
He speaks Grishnard, and his name is a Grishnard word.
It was an obvious conclusion, but Gerard hadn't thought of it. Silvio was squeezing the blood out of two of Gerard's fingers, but he wasn't trembling any more. Felbane stirred. At last, he said softly,
Little, like him.
Silvio grew very still.
Foxlings?
Asked Gerard in confusion. Felbane hesitated, then bobbed his head.
Little.
He repeated. Gerard was fascinated.
Silvio, are there foxlings in the lawless lands?
A few.
Silvio sounded uncertain.
I can't imagine where they'd get a mountain griffin, or why.
The only sizable population of mountain griffins I know about is in the high mountains of Masia Major, and there are plenty of foxlings in Masia.
Felbane cocked his head. Gerard supposed that he was confused by the one-sided conversation.
The foxling, Silvio, he can't speak, but he talks in my head. I can't believe I'm saying this.
Felbane seemed to accept it, though. After a moment, he said haltingly,
Little girl, Foxling raised me, kept her safe. One day, Grishnards came, killed everyone, locked me in a box, and put me on a ship. No food for days, took me far away, and sold me to the Hunti.
I've heard of this.
Said Silvio suddenly.
Felbane. It's the kind of name a healer might give, a poisonous herb, especially if you want the animal to be protective and aggressive. Griffins have special status, and if you raise them from an egg, I'm told they can be tame. I always thought the idea was perfectly mad myself.
Were there a whole family of foxlings with you growing up?
Felbane stretched a paw out in front of him. He was looking more relaxed.
A male, a female, a little girl. The Grishnards killed them. Everything was bad after that.
I know what you're thinking,
said Silvio.
And you're not getting me anywhere near that thing.
He'd trust you better than me.
Little. Bite size, in fact.
Gerard thought for a moment.
Felbane, you seem to be hunting pretty well before winter. What happened?
Leg hurts,
muttered the griffin.
Feel sick. Too weak.
The wound is probably festering.
Gerard got a jerk from his fishing line at that moment, and stopped talking until he'd secured the fish. Felbane watched hungrily.
You can come back to the cabin with us,
Gerard said when he'd finished.
I'll build a fire and you can get warm. I'll give you a little food, but we don't have enough to feed you properly. If you'd let me get that javelin head out so you can get well and hunt, that would be better.
Felbane considered this.
Fire? Warm?
Yes, I think I can manage that.
Felbane stood and stalked a little unsteadily into the trees.
I guess he'll meet us back at the cabin. I wish you'd let us ride him. We could get near to town in no time.
He caught another fish. While he was crouching to get the hook free, he said,
Silvio, would you get down for a moment?
He wanted to talk about what had happened before Felbane appeared, and he wanted to be able to look Silvio in the face. Silvio slid off. He stood on the ice beside Gerard with his hands in his pockets. His tail hung down, and his ears drooped.
Have I ruined everything?
Gerard shook his head.
How could you do that?
Silvio looked at his paws. Gerard sighed. He put down his line and crouched beside Silvio.
Silvio, I care about you. I love you, but don't expect me to show it like Basil.
Silvio nodded.
Sometimes. I think I'll annoy you once too often, and you'll be gone the next day, or you'll hit me, or you'll...
He shuddered.
Feed me to that griffin.
Gerard shut his eyes.
I'm sorry I ever mentioned the griffin where you could hear. I wasn't thinking clearly. I was shocked. I was angry at you, but I would never do that.
He tried to laugh.
Besides, I don't think Felbane would accommodate. If he was raised by foxlings, he'd probably try to protect you.
Silvio risked an upward glance.
I know you wouldn't hurt me. Most of the time, I know.
His nose was running, and he wiped it with his sleeve.
But I know you must get tired of telling me the same things over and over again. Gods, the sort of thing I'm doing right now annoys you.
Gerard resisted the urge to just pick him up and hold him.
He's not a child. He may be the right size, and he may act like one sometimes, but he is not a child, and I've got to stop treating him like one. Silvio, I think I owe you an apology. Some of the things I do must feel to you like teasing. I never thought of it before. Honestly, I don't mean to tease. You were right when you said a while back that physical affection comes naturally to me. It's thoughtless affection and comfort, and I should have known better with you. I apologize.
Silvio looked up at him with sad eyes, blue as the ice.
Does that mean you won't pick me up anymore?
I thought you didn't like being picked up.
Silvio looked down again. After a moment, he said softly,
Gerard, sometimes I ask for what I don't want, and sometimes I want what I don't ask for.
I figured that out a long time ago, Silvio.
Silvio wiped his nose again. Gerard wondered whether he was crying or just cold. It was so hard to tell.
If I seduced you, I'd feel safer. I'd know for sure why you keep me around. I'd have a function and a purpose.
Gerard ran a hand across his face.
Oh, God, Silvio.
And then he stopped, because he was sure that expressing his revulsion in words would make things worse.
Please stop trying to be useful. Just stop.
Silvio nodded. He looked miserable.
I like it when you pick me up. And it doesn't have anything to do with seducing you. Just feels safe. And today I think I ruined that.
Gerard laughed mirthlessly. He looked at the sky.
What am I going to do with you? Well, it was hardly the most forward thing you've ever done.
Silvio thought for a moment.
I kissed you once, didn't I?
He made a face.
Stupid. Drunk. You almost threw me across the room. I don't know why you didn't.
Because it would have hurt you.
Gerard hesitated, then reached out and scooped Silvio up. Silvio curled against him, for all the world like a contented child.
Am I changing you, or are you changing me? Does it matter?
He tucked Silvio inside his coat and then backed up to the edge of the pool as the ice creaked. Silvio's voice came in a happy murmur.
Ah, Gerard, I feel like I should pay for this somehow.
There's a word for Schultz. You pay for attention. I'm not one of those.
I am.
Gerard gave him a shake.
You're not. Not for a long time.
After a while, he said,
We need to get back before dark, and I can't carry you and the fish, not unless you want to smell like them.
They walked back in the winter twilight, more easily in the trail that Gerard had already broken. The fish were not especially big. Gerard figured that they had enough food for 2, maybe 3 days, if Dakar didn't come back, and provided they rationed it and didn't give any to Felbane. These were not comforting thoughts.
If I was your size, we'd have a lot easier time getting enough to eat.
If you were my size, we wouldn't have enough firewood to stay warm. Some of those chunks you've got out there are as big as me.
Maybe we should just start walking. Head towards Zorn. There have to be other towns or villages along the coast. We could leave a note for Dakar. We might get lucky, find things we can eat along the way.
Silvio was quiet for a moment.
Gerard, Zorn is not going to be a friendly place for you, or Dakar, or probably me either. It's a fawn town, mostly Zed. They're not fond of Panons, although they tolerate Hunty because they've got no choice. They'll tolerate any kind of shelt around the docks, provided you're associated with a ship, but they do not like Grishnards. They know too much about Wefferthane. I think trying to stay in town would be a mistake.
Gerard frowned.
Good to know, Silvio. I don't know how you can say you're not useful. You tell me useful things all the time.
Silvio smiled shyly.
Do I?
I'll tell you something that does annoy me. This submissive attitude of yours. Sometimes I want to ask you what you've done with my friend. I know he's in there somewhere. I see him peek out from time to time.
You'd rather I snip at you and call you names.
Well, it would seem more natural. You were my superior officer, remember? You're smarter than me. I know that.
You're not stupid, Gerard. I'm just not very patient.
No, because you're very fast. I'd still like to teach you how to use a sword. Would you let me do that? In return, you could teach me Hunty. That would be useful.
I don't really know Hunty.
You know a little, which is more than I do.
Dakar knows a lot.
Dakar isn't here. If you don't want to teach me Hunty, then teach me how to pick locks, or you could just give me useful advice that I'll ignore.
That made Silvio smile.
I'll teach you what Hunty I know, but lockpicking is difficult in the absence of locks. I can draw you some pictures. That's about it.
Gerard shrugged.
Last year, I often wished I knew anything at all about locks.
They got back to the cabin a little after dark. To Gerard's surprise, there was smoke coming from the chimney.
Did I bank the fire properly?
He forgot about the smoke when he saw what was lying beside the outdoor fire pit. It was a leopard seal, about the length of Felbane, but much heavier. Its enormous toothy jaws hung slack, blood pooling in the dirt around its head. Felbane was tearing at its belly, ripping off hunks of meat and swallowing them whole.
Well, I guess he went hunting.
Gerard shook his head. Leopard seals were aquatic predators that rivaled sharks in their ferocity. He couldn't imagine how Felbane could have caught and killed such an animal in his current state. He wondered whether the seal had been sick or injured.
That must be it. I guess we'll have plenty of food. There's no way he can eat all of that, even hungry.
Silvio crowded back against Gerard's leg. Gerard looked down at him.
Are you all right?
Silvio had watched Felbane eat plenty of times before. The griffin was some distance away and thoroughly distracted. Silvio's voice came in a whisper.
I want to see what's in the cabin.
Gerard remembered the smoke.
Maybe Dakar's home.
He leaned his fishing pole against the wall and pushed open the door. The fire was blazing, and Gerard took a moment to process what was curled up in front of it. Glistening black scales, leathery wings, clawed feet. A wyvern. Chapter 23. Talented. Gerard backed up so fast that he nearly ran over Silvio. He remembered an instant later that his sword was in the cabin.
The axe!
It was leaning against the wall beside his fishing pole.
Gerard!
Barked Silvio in his head.
Calm down, it's not what you think.
I don't think anything. I don't know what to think.
How did it get in? Did it eat Dakar? Has Morcella found us?
To his astonishment, Silvio pushed past him into the cabin and walked cautiously towards the sleeping wyvern. Gerard registered that it wasn't very large, not quite twice the size of Silvio. Gerard pulled himself together and followed with the axe. Silvio was sniffing. He seemed more confident as he drew nearer, and at last he reached out his hand.
Silvio!
That woke the dragon. It raised its glistening black head, and Silvio drew back his hand. The wyvern blinked at them. Then, to Gerard's horror and amazement, its form shimmered, blurred, and shifted. Dakar looked up at them. She was naked, her black hair spread around her in a tangle. That glistening, iridescent black hair. Those iridescent black eyes, like an oil slick on water. Gerard swallowed. He tried to say something, but no sound came. Dakar made a face as though in pain. Her body shimmered again, wavered, shifted. For a moment, she flickered on the edge of two shapes, then resolved into the wyvern.
I'm so tired. I can't hold my shape.
She sounded like she might cry.
Is the axe for me, Gerard?
Gerard tried to put down the axe and dropped it. He turned to Silvio with a growl.
You knew. You knew and you didn't tell me.
Silvio shook his head.
I knew some things that didn't make sense about Morchella and Dakar.
Are you going to kill me?
Asked Dakar. Somehow her dragon's face contrived to look worried. Gerard tried to smile.
No, Dakar. Are you going to kill us?
She shook her head.
He
tried to gather his thoughts.
Is your mother like you? Can she change shape?
Dakar nodded.
She's a lot bigger.
Well, that explains how she managed to turn up at odd times.
Silvio had put a hand on Dakar's neck so that she could hear him.
But why was she never naked?
It was perhaps the last thing that Gerard would have thought to ask. Dakar looked down. She had long black eyelashes. She was, Gerard had to admit, an elegant creature.
Because a good shifter can incorporate something as simple as clothes. I'm not that good yet.
Can all the wyverns shift?
As the shock wore off, Gerard began to feel excited. This was a secret as old and guarded as any in Wefravain. Dakar shook her head.
Most of them have forgotten how, or they never learned. She says I'm strange. I started shifting when I was little. Mother likes me because I'm talented, but she doesn't like me because she's afraid I'll embarrass her. Shift where Shelts can see me. I didn't have much control at first.
She doesn't like you because you're a threat. Were your assistants in the dungeons other wyverns?
Dakar nodded.
So was my father. I think he's the god on Masia, but she won't tell me for sure.
Gerard almost laughed.
No wonder you don't act like a Shelt. There's not a drop of Shelt blood in your veins.
The expression on Dakar's face made him regret his comment at once.
I try to be.
You do a good job. You fooled my nose, and that's not easy.
I've been mostly a Grishnard since I left Mother, but there were a few times. When the pirates boarded the Mantis, someone pushed me into the sea, so I shifted and followed the ship. Then I went looking for Gerard and found him in the Griffin Pit. Later, when we came to the beach, I started shifting again. I love to swim. I know I shouldn't, but sometimes I want to. I stay near shore. I was so afraid I'd run into other wyverns and they'd see me and tell Mother where I am. But there aren't many wyverns in the lawless lands. I saw Silvio jump in the water that day when I made the bridge, so I brought him to shore.
Silvio nodded.
There was one confused moment when I wasn't sure what had hold of me. I actually thought it might be a shark, but then it was you, and I wasn't thinking clearly.
The fishing hasn't been good lately near shore, and fish don't last long anyway, so I thought I'd try to get something bigger for us to eat. I found the leopard seal, but it was hard to kill. It bit me and made me bleed. I shifted and healed myself, but that took a lot of energy. And then I dragged it all the way back here. I'm so tired. I just can't hold my Grishnard shape.
It's all right.
Gerard finally managed to reach out and pat her head. Her skin was cool and smooth, almost metallic.
You're still you. Now we just know a little more about you.
Dakar slept for the rest of the evening, while Gerard and Silvio had as much fish and seal as they cared to eat.
The meat will last a long time in this cold,
commented Gerard.
But I bet it still goes bad before we can eat all of it.
Felbane lay beside the outdoor fire, a happy, glazed look on his face. That night, when they were getting ready for bed, Silvio dragged his blankets out of their mutual pile and made a nest a few paces away. Gerard looked at him quizzically.
What are you doing?
Silvio sat down with a seashell full of water and proceeded to scrub the coal off his face for the night.
I'd like to try sleeping alone.
Gerard frowned.
Are you trying to pay for something?
Silvio smiled.
No, I'd just like to try. I always hated needing other shelts, having to have someone in my bed.
Not having any choice.
It's not that I don't like choices, Gerard. It's just never seemed like I had many. That summer when you sailed with us, it almost seemed like I did.
Later, when they lay in near darkness with a fire banked and faintly glowing, Silvio muttered,
Gerard, I can be so manipulative. You're right to beware of me.
Gerard grunted.
Why do I feel like we've had this conversation before?
I'm not comfortable unless everyone around me owes me something. I don't give gifts because I'm nice. I give them because I need to own everyone to feel safe.
You tell yourself that because you don't think nice people survive.
Well, they don't seem to have much staying power.
I'm still here.
You are just too sweet. No one can bear to kill you.
I wish someone had told my warders that on the Mantis. Silvio, have you actually gone to bed with someone because you wanted to and no other reason? Have you ever been in love, Silvio? Have you ever been close?
Silvio considered.
Sort of. I've never done anything like what you did. Take a lover that amounted to social and political suicide. But mildly inconvenient. Maybe Basil, the time before last when I changed my flagship. Not last time. Last time I was trying to get him to tell me about Masia Minor. You thought I was just trying to irritate you, didn't you?
Was that just an added bonus?
I wanted him to tell me about the island. You said something once about him taking advantage of me, but I did the same thing. Only I was a lot worse.
Gerard didn't really want to hear about that.
The time before last?
Yeah, I liked him. He liked me. He followed me to the guard, where he wasn't comfortable and mostly wasn't welcome, and it nearly destroyed him, turned him into a caricature of himself. We were bad for each other. I couldn't get over how easy he was to manipulate, blow in his ear, and he'd do anything for me, and he couldn't understand why my past couldn't stay in the past, why it kept affecting my present. That stuff doesn't make any sense to Basil. Things are exactly what they are to him. They never remind him of anything else.
He stopped.
Am I boring you, Gerard?
No. Did you love him?
Silvio hesitated.
Maybe a little. I liked him a lot. I wish him well. I liked Lou, too. She's such a homebody, though. You'd never get her on a ship.
Silvio yawned.
Lou was a long time ago, back when I was still stabbing and poisoning shelts for a living. She was the property of some idiot apothecary on CERN. Did all his work for him. Did it better than he ever could. I got her off CERN to Haplag, where non-Grishnards have more rights. She's done well there. We were lovers most incidentally because, well, I crawled into her bed like I always do, and she thought I was pretty. Back then, I guess I was.
Gerard almost said, "You still are," but decided he shouldn't.
She hid me a couple of times when I needed to hide, and she does make the best nasty stuff in Wefrevane. Have I ever been in love, Gerard? Sometimes you ask the stupidest questions. Good night.
Did you pick that out of my thoughts? Because I didn't actually say it out loud.
He didn't dare say anything else. Chapter 24. Appearances. Silvio slept all right that night, and the night after. Gerard kept a low fire in the outdoor pit, and Felbane stretched out beside it, sated with seal meat. He allowed Gerard to approach him, and even to place a hand on his beak and rub the feathers around his ears. But when Gerard tried to move down his shoulders, Felbane grew restless and started to growl. Dakar came out yawning that morning, looking like a Grishnard again. Gerard had gone down to the beach the night before and found her clothes hidden in the weeds.
Dakar, do you think you could get Felbane to let you take that javelin head out from under his leg? It's preventing him from hunting properly.
She tried, but Felbane growled every time she came within a few paces.
She's a healer.
Gerard told him.
She can help you.
Dragon.
Muttered Felbane.
He saw me shift on the beach,
said Dakar.
I flew near him once, too. I tried to talk to him, but he got scared.
You've flown a lot for us,
commented Silvio, with his hand on her arm.
It's how you cover so much ground, isn't it?
Dakar nodded.
I found a town a few days ago, off that way.
She waved a hand to the north. Gerard was immediately interested.
How far?
Dakar thought about it.
Several days walking.
Gerard wants to know whether we can ride you.
Silvio.
Well, that's what you were thinking.
She's too small, even for you.
I'm not sure I could get off the ground. I could try.
She thought for a moment.
There were children in the town. I haven't seen many Schelt children.
Silvio looked at her curiously.
Children, Dakar.
She nodded.
There weren't any in the dungeons. The only Schelts I saw were prisoners, and Mother, and Silvio, and sometimes the girls in white gowns, and some of them are wyverns.
Oh.
Gerard thought of the vacuous, or was it hungry, stares of the white-clad harpers.
I saw you once,
she said to Gerard.
The only female Schelts I saw were Mother and the harpers, so I made myself look like them.
Gerard remembered one of the first questions he'd ever asked her.
Dakar, how old are you?
She frowned.
I'm not sure, but I think I should look more like this.
She shimmered, shrank, and Gerard was looking down into the eyes of a little Grischnard girl, perhaps 8, certainly no older than 10. She was skinny and flat-chested, but she had Dakar's waist-length black hair and black eyes. Dakar's pants had fallen right off her, and her shirt hung down to her knees, which came approximately to the top of her boots. Her black tufted tail twitched nervously.
I didn't know,
she said, in a child's voice.
I didn't know what I was supposed to look like. I don't think they would have let me on the ship like this anyway. Not as a healer.
Wyverns preserve us,
whispered Silvio, and then laughed at what he just said. Suddenly, all kinds of things about Dakar made a lot more sense to Gerard. The way she was sometimes completely reliable, but at other times not. Her fascination with collecting worthless, pretty objects. Her failure to grasp certain kinds of humor. Her childish pleasure at being praised.
She's a very grown-up little girl and extremely bright. But she's still a little girl.
Do you want me to stay like this?
She asked. Gerard thought for a moment.
I think you should try to look your age, unless it's unsafe. I think it would be less confusing for others and better for you. I'll make you another set of clothes.
Dakar wrinkled her nose.
It doesn't seem like a very useful shape. I may forget.
We'll remind you,
said Silvio with a grin.
Finally, someone around here is my height.
In fact, they were close enough in size that Dakar could wear one of Silvio's extra sets of clothes. However, her boots and coat were more of a problem, and at last, Gerard admitted reluctantly that she ought to keep her adult form until they found better clothes for her. The day felt a little warmer than usual. The sun came out and sparkled on the snow. Silvio was working on turning one of their skinning knives into a throwing knife. He'd taken the guard off the handle and was painstakingly grinding down the blade. Gerard was alternately working on new clothes for Dakar and trying to make a pack for Silvio out of the skins of Felbane's old kills. He figured that even stiff, poorly tanned skins ought to be able to hold a few supplies. Silvio complained good-naturedly that they smelled like fermented rat urine with a hint of blood and rancid fat.
But there were times as a kid that I would have tried to eat them.
That bad?
Silvio inspected his knife, flipped it up in the air and caught it, and then started sanding again.
Nix and I used to catch rats when the master didn't feed us. If we were lucky, we could get the cook to roast them for us. If we weren't lucky, well, you've got to eat something. You get worms from raw rats sometimes. Do you know what cheap wormer tastes like?
Yuck, Silvio.
Yes, exactly. It makes you throw up, and it gives you terrible cramps.
No wonder you always wanted good food on the Fang.
Well, I swore I'd never eat another rat again after I left CERN. Haven't so far.
Gerard smiled.
You may get tired of seal before the end of the winter. Can I show you some things about swords this morning?
Silvio grew instantly quiet.
Look, you're right that in a fair fight you wouldn't have a chance. Not against most Grishnards. But ship battles aren't duels. They're chaotic. Your opponent is often distracted or off balance or fighting more than one shelt at a time. I think I could teach you some things that would make you more competitive in that situation.
Silvio looked up.
And this involves you swinging a sword at me.
Gerard was surprised. Silvio made a face.
Gerard, on the deck of a ship, with a sword in your hand, you turn into another person. You do things you'd never do in cold blood. You're
He looked down at his knife.
different.
Gerard was both touched and saddened.
Silvio, please, trust me to have enough self-control not to hurt you. I won't swing a sword at you in any case. We'll practice with sticks.
So you'll hit me with a stick?
Asked Silvio, without looking up. Gerard opened his mouth and shut it again. Silvio had a point. You couldn't practice sword fighting without getting hit. When he'd started with the Royal Sword Master on Holovaris, he'd been covered in bruises for months. The idea of putting bruises on Silvio with a stick made him feel ill.
A target?
He suggested.
And I know some katas that are useful. It's probably not as good as sparring, but you're right. I couldn't hit you, not with anything. You can't duplicate a boarding fight anyway. It's not really like sparring.
Silvio brightened.
I could throw my knife at a target.
All right then, but first, your basic problem, at least from what I've seen.
Silvio grinned.
Oh, yes, Gerard. Do tell me my basic problem. I've always wondered which it was.
Gerard gave his tail a jerk.
With sword fighting, smart Alec, you tend to use your sword like a knife, with most of the movement in your arm and wrist. You're very quick, and you keep your blades extremely sharp, so you just slash and dance away. But you waste a lot of energy like that, and you don't get maximum force behind your blows. You're supposed to put your whole body into a sword. It's not just something you're holding in your hand. It's an extension of your arm, which is an extension of the rest of you. Using a sword correctly, even someone your size could deliver the kind of blow that shelts don't come back from. That's what you want in a ship fight, to completely debilitate your opponent with the minimum number of blows.
Well, you certainly do that. Gerard, I've seen you cut shelts in half in a ship fight. If someone told you to do that in a dungeon, you'd probably throw up.
Gerard thought about it.
Whether the other person is armed and can defend himself matters a lot to me. Whether he chose to fight matters too.
A little later, Silvio went into the woods and cut himself a stick of the appropriate length. He tried to find a thick one, but it still didn't weigh enough.
You could use my sword. One of yours will feel as light as a feather afterward, although some of the katas would be awkward.
Gerard showed him the exercises. It had been a long time since Gerard had done much with his sword.
I could use some practice of my own.
The katas came back easily, though. Clean, simple, calming exercise. Silvio watched with perfect attention, and he duplicated the movements so precisely that Gerard hardly had to correct him.
Kind of like a dance.
Do you know how to dance?
He'd never seen Silvio dance, but that might just be because he'd never been around Shelts his own size. Silvio gave a mirthless chuckle.
Not the kind of dances you do.
Gerard made a target out of branches and half-cured hides, and they practiced swinging at it. Silvio tried flicking his knife at the target. It worked pretty well, although he said he still needed to grind it down a bit. He showed Gerard how to throw the knife.
Although to become more accurate, you have to do it over and over and over.
Dakar was gone most of the day, but that evening she returned with her pockets full of shells and an armload of driftwood.
Silvio says it burns pretty colors.
Gerard glanced at Silvio, who laughed.
What I said was, if I die out here, I want a driftwood pyre. They burn pretty colors. That was a while back, before I could talk to you.
He grinned.
Dakar loves pretty, doesn't she?
You'd think she was a wyvern or something.
What did you say?
Oh, nothing. I was talking to Silvio.
The driftwood did burn beautifully. They all sat around the outdoor fire after supper, watching the logs flare in occasional lavender, or blue, or brilliant red. Dakar was making a necklace out of shells. Silvio showed her how to string them with a knot in between each, so that they hung separately. After a while, Silvio said,
"When you say something matters, you mean it affects whether you feel guilty?"
Gerard struggled to recapture the thread of their previous conversation.
I guess you could say that.
All kinds of things make you guilty, Gerard. You fret about the silliest things. I think Fess helped you with that.
Gerard smiled.
I suppose she did.
Silvio stared into the fire.
The two of you, when you danced, you were so beautiful.
Oh?
Gerard was curious.
You like to watch us dance?
Gods, yes. You'd probably have noticed, except that you were paying so much attention to her.
He drew his knees up and wrapped his tail around his legs.
I watched you dance that last time at Leopard's court and tried to figure out how to keep you both in one piece.
Was that when you decided I wasn't going to major minor?
Silvio nodded.
I should have listened to you.
Silvio looked into the fire and didn't say anything. Gerard reached out and touched his shoulder.
Silvio, it wasn't your fault.
He nodded again, but he didn't say much for the rest of the evening. You have been listening to The Guild of the Cowry Catchers by Abigail Hilton. Copyright Abigail Hilton. Cowry Catchers is an illustrated podcast. Artwork for this episode was created by Sarah Cloutier. To view these illustrations and to learn more about this world and its author, visit the website at www.cowrycatchers.com. This podcast included the vocal talents of
Nathan Lowell
as Gerard,
Norm Sherman,
as Silvio,
R.E. Chambliss,
as Dakar,
Tim Dodge.
as Felbane. Sound effects for this podcast were provided by SoundSnap, the Free Sound Project, and Sound Dogs. The intro music for this podcast was Grace by Beth Quist. The outro music is Everywhere, also by Beth Quist. Both were licensed with permission from Magnatune.net. Music for Book 3 of Cowry Catchers included selections from Digital Juice at digitaljuice.com and Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com. It also included additional music from Beth Quist, Diana Rowan, and Jamie Saber, all from Magnatune.net. All music was licensed and used according to the terms of the websites. This is a standard copyright now. This podcast is provided for your personal enjoyment only. You can download and archive the episodes for your personal use. You may not re-upload, mirror, or publicly redistribute the audio files, nor can you alter, remix, or create derivative works. And I hope you enjoyed the story.
Sunlight sparkling in the forest, dancing, dancing on the alpine waters. Ride the moonbeam into the galaxy. Second star to the left and straight on and straight on and straight on till when I find her.
And I'm back. This is 2025 Abby, coming to you with some thoughts on the episode. So, the View from Valhalla podcast introduced this one. he was doing podcast reviews at this time. I went and glanced at his website, which is still up. It looks to me like he stopped doing podcast reviews in like 2012. So I think he did a review after like the second Cowry Catchers book, the original second book, which would have been like halfway through the first current book. I don't think he was even still reviewing podcasts by the time the podcast for the original Cowry Catchers run finished. But anyway, his reviews are still up, and it looks to me like he is now reviewing coffee shops. So you can check that out if you are interested. For the story itself, we've got 2 more secrets from Dakar here. She's just about out of secrets. But yeah, a few more details about our favorite emotionally dysfunctional, brilliant shape-shifting child. Listening to this episode, some of the interactions to me are kind of painful now. The thing is, neither one of these 2 characters had any good relationship modeling, and so they're both kind of making mistakes with each other, which I still think is realistic, but neither one of them are really engaging in best practices. Not that stories can or should be best practices in terms of relationships, but I have definitely written some more functional relationships since I wrote these 2 guys. But anyway, this is the camping on the beach section of the story. It has some very chill moments and some sweet domestic moments. More excitement, of course, eventually coming up. More secrets eventually coming out. That's about all I've got to say for now, and I will talk to you later. This is Abigail Hilton, and you have been listening to the Pirates of Wefravain saga. Join me on Patreon for early episodes, long-form interviews, forum access, personal updates, and lots of artwork, including maps and species charts. That's patreon.com/Abigail Hilton. If you want the whole story now with no interruptions and some remastering of the early books for sound quality, you can find the entire series at shop.abigailhilton.com, along with all my other novels. The audiobooks are delivered by BookFunnel. Background music was Hidden Sky by Jamie Sieber, licensed from Magnatune.net circa 2014. The Guild of the Cowry Catchers podcast is an audio adaptation of the Pirates of Wefravain saga, written and produced by Abigail Hilton. Original production copyright 2010. All rights are reserved to the author.